Hey gamers! It's been a while since I made a video. I've been super busy with commissioned work. I'm working on the music and sound design and stuff for like 4 commercial games and then a bunch of smaller indie stuff. I have not forgotten you all. I'm here with 4 more free Synths stuff that I use a lot in sound design and music composing. Sorry, I had to cough. And the production of video game soundtracks, stuff like that. Astral Dreamer, Dream Machine, PG8X, and Lightbag. We're gonna go down in the order in which they appear here, as always. Also, as always, I release free audio resource packs for game developers and sound designers, sample packs, beat packs, things like that. Very non-traditional stuff, a lot of experimental things. Yeah, a lot of like natural nature noise, acoustic analog stuff. All on my itch.io page and Bandcamp. All for free. If you want to go check those out, you can. You can see a lot of the games I've worked on, music-wise and sound-wise on there too. But we're going to get right into it with Lightbag 2. This is a real nice organ emulation, electric organ. What I like about this is its rotary feature. As you can see up here, it does have a built-in rotary, on and off, blah, blah, blah. Without the rotary, just your everyday organ, but the rotary feature in this has a lot of width to it. It's very girthy in the sense that it sounds like it sounds like an analog rotary. It doesn't sound like emulated panning. We can hear how that sounds now. I'm gonna dial it down a bit here. So as you can hear, it's very warm and very natural in the sense where, like I said, it doesn't sound like there's a lot of phantom panning or phantom rotary, as I like to call it, which is this thing that emulation organs do, where they create this auto pan sort of effect. What I like about Lightbag 2 is it doesn't do that. It's super natural, and the parameters that you're able to adjust here, such as like the cutoff, the resolution, it's all very natural, and it never goes overboard, which is what I like. A lot of these organ synths that you'll get end up having just too much going on. And if we want to listen to like the whole, the back track I built for the track here, it plays super well in the mix when companioned with virtual synths that are designed to sound like virtual synths. And that's why I like it. It's definitely not the flashiest and far from the best free organ plugin you can get, but it's something I've been experimenting with and using a lot for RPG Maker style games. It definitely has that like RPG Maker 2003 to XP kind of feel to it. But yeah, I fuck with it a lot. I legitimately enjoy it, legitimately use it. I say that about a lot of plugins, and I would hope by now that you guys know that when I put plugins in these videos, I am actually using them. It's not just like, hey, downloaded a bunch of free synth.com things, here they are. These are things that I use on a regular basis. PG8X is something that I've gotten into more recently. Oh, that's the I was trying to see how fucky you could get with the LFOs and ended up recreating this banger. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that one right there. Good old Far Cry 3. That's always my go-to, like when I want to see how fucky an LFO, like how in depth you can get with designing LFOs and stuff on these VSTs. I always try to like go for like how Skrillex can I get, and here you can get very Skrillex. And something that I like about the LFO here is I can't see it now. I can't find it now. LFO sync. So this is determining if your LFO is synced to your DAW's BPM or the LFO down here, which we can see. But yeah, I mean, that's completely one thing or another. Completely aside from that, we have our initial. Sounds exactly how you would think it would sound. But there are a lot of presets that I really fuck with in PGX8. Let me turn this up a little bit. Forget where the actual volume. Oh, settings. Here we go. So you have your MIDI settings and your settings. I don't quite understand the whole thing of this having 3 different function setting panels here, but it is what it is. Aftertouch doesn't quite vibe with me that much. I usually just stick in the settings so that I have like my tuner, my unison stuff. It's all there. Filter noise, I love to fuck with. Global gain is another one, just to get a little extra. The LFO trigger I think is really cool. Again, something that you're not going to be using much if you're not sound designing with LFOs. But either way, so you sort of have like a 2-channel thing here, the DCO, DCO2, your mixer, your VFC, which is just like your, I would call it not quite your, I don't quite know what to compare these to. I don't know the actual abbreviations for VFC and VCA, but think of them as you would like, in something like FM8, you would have various cutoff channels and channels just for like your frequencies. That's sort of what's going on here. It's very universal sort of things. But with that being said, your actual channels, all of your other little settings are down here. You have your pulse, your square, your noise, all that. There's a lot going on here, like sound-wise. And I like it just because it's got a lot of cool noise going on, but also it has a random function, so you can hit random and just get completely random sounds. This one makes no sound. And I like plugins that do this. I love plugins that have just like random fuck me up features. They're very cool. But yeah, PG8X, if you're looking to just get a sort of vintagey 90s, early 2000s kind of like chippy sound, Very, very, very cool plugin for that. It gives Analog Lab vibes, Arturia. It gives that sort of vibe in the sense of like you basically have an infinite canvas of hitting random or messing around with settings and the deco 1 and the deco 2 until you have something cool. Yeah, you're able to get really cool, blatantly virtual sounds out of this. And, you know, that's what I've kind of been using it for, hitting random until I find something that I think adds enough spice and flavor to a track to where like I can just sprinkle it in and get something cool. Yeah, and then moving on to something more common. I feel like people see me use HG Fortune a lot. I maybe have covered Astral Dream before, but Astral Dream, goated with the sauce, as the children say. Astral Dream's great. Everything from HG Fortune, rest in peace. Very unfortunate to find out that the creator of HG Fortune passed away. I didn't know that when I started making these videos, but God, like when I got into these plugins, it was captivating. They're all free to my knowledge. If they're not available on the site, I have archived a lot of them in the Discord down below. This isn't a shameless plug. This is just for the sake of keeping music software free and archived. I do hold on to a lot of it. Some of it's available via asking on my Patreon. A lot of people have gone there and said, hey, do you have this plugin from 2002? And maybe I'll have it. Usually I do. But yeah, Astral Dreamer, it's just classic HG Fortune. Beautiful, beautiful sound spaces. And along with these, it's just crazy amount of presets. Just absolutely beautiful preset stuff here. Always lovely pads. Always incredibly incredibly well in the sense of their quality too. They all sound very aged, but none of them sound dated. If that makes sense. Just lovely stuff. You always have the typical HG Fortune being able to come in and just totally customize your sound based, or totally customize the oscillator based on the root samples for the preset, which is something that's always just so dynamic and beautiful. Being able to mute them and just kind of like make sound. Create. A lot of wrong notes there. But yeah, again, HG Fortune, genius, absolute genius and pioneer when it comes to freeware synths and how in depth and inspiring they can be. Which brings us to Dream Machine. Another HG Fortune plugin. I've talked about it before, and I think it's going to be my next video. I am just one of these days going to jump into HG Fortune, just do. I don't know if I would call it a retrospective, but sort of like a let's give HG Fortune his flowers. Let's kind of talk about who this person was and all the things they've given to producers and sound designers. Because I feel like at least every other video I have one or two of his plugins in here, and I think I've covered some of them multiple times. This is just a simple video. It's just a catch up. Hey, here's 4 things I've been using recently. But yeah, it always ends up coming back to HG Fortune. And Dream Machine is a great, beautiful plugin. You got your little graphics down there. 8-voice synthesizer, 6 oscillators per voice on 1 key. Absolute genius. The sequencer that's built in here is not something I use often. You can kind of see it getting its thing on there. I forgot to switch presets, but there's again just so much happening here. It's just noise in the most beautiful and respectful sense. The fact that it's 6 voices across these oscillators is also just another absolutely just insane and unhinged thing, you know. Again, just a lot happening here in the sense of you're able to really just come in, kind of just take all of these lovely preset sounds. I don't even need to look for presets. I don't even remember how, because I always just kind of come in here and just start. I don't even have to talk, you know. It's doing the work for me. It's just lovely. It's just a lovely little sequencing machine, and we could sit here and just dive into the noise side of it for hours, literally just for hours. Just what can I make with this, you know? And it's a lot. You truly can sit here with any HG Fortune plugin, but something like Dream Machine, and just get lost. Just seriously, just get lost in what's happening sound wise. But yeah, that's it. A little bit of a shorter video this time, I think. I definitely want to get into more curated videos, genre specific stuff. I do a lot of horror genre specific videos, but I want to get into things more like, oh, here's a fantasy one, or an action one, or Hades inspired, or Hytale inspired, just inspired by games. Like, oh, here's some free plugins if you're inspired by this game. That's something that's going to be happening more frequently now, probably once a week. I say that a lot, but this is a commitment. This is going to be a once a week project. This YouTube channel, I mean. I know a lot of you follow it. A lot of you have joined the Discord to keep in touch with things I'm posting there, primarily in the music channel, because it is sort of a general Discord. But yeah, so people will come there and say, hey, how do you do this? Like, how would I do this? And I go, this is how I would do it. These are the plugins I would use. And I've been lacking on putting that out in video form, but here we are again. So with all that said, you know, rest in peace, HG Fortune. You will get a dedicated video from me soon, I promise. For everyone watching again, subscribe if you like this. You know, it definitely helps. I would like to reach 500 subscribers by the end of the year. Check out the Patreon too. There's a free tier, which is where most of the stuff's going to be posted. I think I've said it before. All the stuff I release, like the sample packs and all that stuff, they're always going to be free. The option to donate is there purely just to support, but also primarily because it legally protects me in terms of ownership of those things. So yeah, always feel free. If I make a sound or do something and you want that for free, just ask me and I will just give it to you for free. Unfortunately, we live in a world where I have to legally protect the resources I create and produce and put out for free in the world. So that's, you know, that's that. Again, always thank you for being here and watching. Goodbye, bye, bye, goodbye, bye, bye, goodbye, bye, bye.